introduce yourself?
My name is Michael Miner. Founder and director of Mental Turning Point, director of the Kansas City Treads Adaptive Sports Program.
How long you been doing that?
I've been doing Mental Turning Point now since 2006. I founded it because I wanted to do something different with youth because of the background that I come from. So I thought I started Mental Turning Point because if you change the way someone thinks, you'll change their behavior. And the Kansas City Treads, I started it in 2012. And I did that more for those with mobility issues, to get them out in the community, to get them playing the sports that they love, and to get them more active when it comes to physical fitness.
So how did you get in the chair?
I got in the chair because I was shot a GSW, a gunshot wound. And back in 1999, March 20th, 1999, I started my day like no other. I used to sell drugs and I was in a bad environment, and because of that environment, I chose to sell drugs and to run with the bad crowd because that's all I knew, that's all I seen, and that's what I was around. So March the 20th, I was 20 years old, just got out of prison, and got a call from a girlfriend that I used to date, and just broke up with her. Wasn't really feeling her, but I got that call, and me being a young man, my body took control of my mind, and I got that call and I went to go see her. But before I got to her house, a guy stopped me and 4 shots came through my passenger side window.
Did you know the guy?
I knew of the guy, guy from the neighborhood, but did not know that he had animosity with me.
Wow, so you just seen you and just started shooting on sight.
Well, it was more a long story. The neighborhood that I come from, we had issues with some of the people in another neighborhood, and this guy who shot me was part of that group. And me being associated with the people I was associated with, he found it in his power to try to take my life.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep.
So at age 20, I got shot. It was broad daylight. It happened in the 30s, in broad daylight, and my life began. I say my life began when it happened.
What do you mean your life began?
My life began. I say that because, before I didn't know nothing. You know what I mean? I was a young kid, grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and growing up in Kansas City, all you really know is 12th Street to 63rd, from Truce to Benton and Van Brunt, and that's pretty much all you know. Those 4 corners, that 4 little box right there. So I say my life began because from me getting shot, a lot of things and doors started opening.
So what did you do? What made you change your life?
Made me change my life. My ex, when I got shot, I had a girl that I went to school with, and me and her was close. And like I said, I was 20. She was probably 19. So I'm 21, and now she's 20. I'm 22, and she's 21, and we together. And I knew her since high school, so when I got shot, she was around. And I got word back about some things that maybe she was doing, and some things. And it got to my heart, so I kind of pushed her away. And that kind of led me to God. At that point, after being shot, losing my dog. My dog ran away when I moved to where I currently live, and now my girlfriend is acting up. I thought the world and life was over, so I turned to God, man, and that's what pulled me through a lot of the pain, a lot of the questions, a lot of the pity party and all that good stuff. So I found God and been rocking ever since.
So God inspired you to move on and change your life.
God inspired me to seek Him, and by seeking Him, I started seeking wisdom and knowledge, and a lot of things started coming my way. Like I said, doors started opening. So, in seeking Him, I started seeking knowledge. So, when I got shot, I wasn't educated. Didn't have. I was trying to get my GED. You know what I'm saying? I was a half hustler, half, trying to do something right with my life, trying to make my mama happy. I was living on her roof, so I had to do what my mom, wanted. So school was, of course, something that I had to do. So when I was out there, I tried to get my GED, but when I got shot, of course, a lot of things, didn't go through. So, but I continued to try to further my education. So I got my GED in 2002, and that inspired me to want to learn and do more. So someone said, you got your GED, why don't you try to get your placement test and try to see where you place at in MCC, community college. So I took the test. I placed kind of low in a couple of reading and math and things of that nature. But I pushed forward, started taking classes at Longview Community College, kept going, went for criminal justice. They tell you to go to school for what you know. So crime is what I knew, so criminal justice is what I went to school for. So I kept pushing forward, got my correctional science degree, did not know that it could transfer to a university, so I got my associate's degree. After getting my associate's degree, being at MCC, I got a scholarship, a block scholarship. Henry Block, the H&R Block, had a scholarship up at Penn Valley, and I was awarded the scholarship. If you were the first one to be go to college in your family, you'll get awarded the scholarship. They'll pay for your books and all that stuff. And 2 years at MCC, 2 years at university, you walk away with associates and a bachelor's. So I got the scholarship, and I started my university career at UMKC.
Wow.
Yeah. And I can go on and on. I can keep going, But at UMKC, while I'm UMKC, I got an internship. Now this is after, once again, I got shot. March the 20th, 1999. I didn't know anything, a young kid from Kansas City. That's why I say my life began. So I was at UMKC after I graduated, got my associate's degree. I have this scholarship. I'm at UMKC. I'm there, like I said, getting a criminal justice degree. I got an internship, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. I didn't know what that meant. They were the program that I was under, the disability program at UMKC. This agency were hiring, and they're looking for people with disabilities. So I signed up, got an interview, and within a week I got a phone call. After I got that phone call, got the interview, went into the building, this is downtown Kansas, went into the building and showed me the desk, showed me the department where I'm working in, and that day I started. And I worked at the EPA from 2008 until 2013. And while I was there, I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice and criminology. And in order to stay there, I had to stay in school. So in 2013, I got my master's degree. And unfortunately, around that time, the EPA let me go. And that was a trying time in my life. In 2013, I didn't know what to do. purchase property. I was going like, what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna keep it, and I started doing IRS 1040X. I started doing taxes with Liberty Taxes, and the job where I'm at currently, the city of Kansas City Parks and Rec came up, and I've been working there since 2013 or 15.
Oh, so you've been staying consistent.
Trying.
Yeah.
Ever since I started working, like I said, God's been on my side, and I've just been seeking wisdom, and because of that, doors have been open. Like I said, my life began.
So you went from hanging in the streets to getting shot. Then, as you say, a mental turning point.
Yeah, started mental turning point in 2005, and I did that because I didn't want kids to go down the same road I went. You know, I used to sell drugs at age 12, get shot at age 20, being around the wrong crowd in the wrong environment. So I started mental turning point. Hence, mental turning point. You change someone's mind, you'll change their behavior. I started that because I wanted to change the way youth look at things and don't go down the same path that I went down.
Yeah, seems like some of the youth today could learn from you. There's so much
Definitely.
going on in Kansas City,
Definitely.
especially in those neighborhoods that you named.
Definitely.
There's quite a bit of violence going on.
Yeah, I come from the Ivanhoe community, and that's a 64130 zip code, which back in, I believe it's 2011 or 10, it was coined the zip code murder capital zip code, or the murder zip code or something like that, 64130 zip code. So I come from that area. So surviving, barely surviving it, and accomplishing what I've accomplished, I give all honor and glory to God, but it also takes self-determination, mental focus, and a healthy surrounding support system.
Yeah, most definitely. So what do you have planned to work with the youth in the future?
In the future, currently, due to the COVID, we have been switching up and doing things different. So putting together a package when you do things online, that's what we're currently trying to focus on. So in the wintertime, let's say September, October, November, December, January, February, turning and shifting more towards social media, doing more things online, so that more than just 5, 10, 20 people gathering, and now that we can't really gather, more people can see some of the content and things that we do at Mental Turning Point.
That's great.
Also, the Kansas City Treads, forming a team, more marketing, promoting, recruiting is some of the things that we're doing with the Kansas City Treads. Trying to gain more support with sports, playing sports in a different way. Some of those with amputees, elderly, those that want to play sports a different way, bringing them together and helping them play sports the way they want to is what we're trying to do. So trying to build more of a volunteer core following, and also just gaining more members is what we're trying to do with the Kansas City Trades.
So how has adaptive sports helped you?
Adaptive sports helped me tremendously. Let me tell you. So back in 2004, I started playing adaptive sports. I played with the Kansas City Thunder. It was the first basketball team that introduced me to adaptive sports, and I loved it. What it did for me was it got me around people that were like me, meet able-bodied young man from the inner city. I wasn't used to a wheelchair and doing things in a wheelchair, and it was all new to me. So starting adaptive sports, being around these guys got me to recognize that it's more to life. I saw guys that were driving, guys that were working, and I'm like, man, hold on, There's one guy I never forget. We practiced at Brush Creek Community Center, and guy pulled up in a Mustang, and I'm just loving it. I'm looking at the Mustang like, wow. And then when he got out and he was in a chair, and that blew my mind. I'm like, whoa.
Okay.
Like, hold on, you know what I mean? Hold on, you have a Mustang still be in a chair? So I was like, oh yeah, this is it. So I opened my mind to some more.
Something different. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So they say it's people in chairs doing more than people that's walking.
Man, it's all about, like I said, that mind. What you focus your mind to. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to be an able-bodied person. You don't have to be in a chair. You just gotta have that mind. You know, if you got the mind to do what you want to do, you can do it. Actions speak louder than words. It's so true. So it's all about you believing it, achieving it. But first of all, just doing it. You know, that's the main thing. You're doing it. You can talk all you want. I got guys be around me. We talk. Man, yeah, I want to do this. I'm gonna do this. I ain't putting nothing down. Ain't writing nothing down. And ain't putting no rubber to the road. So sometimes it's just all talk, but you need action behind it.
Right. Without no action, there's no progress.
No progress at all.
Wow. So where do you see mental turning point in the future?
Long term, you know, I see the model and how where I am currently working at. I see how that model works. So I want to build it, an event space building where you have a gym, you have classrooms, you have an event space where people can do repasses, birthdays, and also you can host events for the community. So in long term, I see Mental Turning Point having a building which houses and has social events, things for the community, and places where people can rent and have parties for their families in the community. So that's long term. Short term, like I talked about, coming up with the podcast, coming up with content that people can see visually through social media, through YouTube and other platforms, and continue to strengthening the mentoring component that we're starting with men in the community, starting to build that and trying to get that going. So that's something that we're doing currently, and partnering with organizations that are like-minded, doing what we're doing, how we can help and how they can help us.
How can we find you on social media?
You can look us up on Facebook, it's Mental Turning Point. Also, you can look us up on Instagram, MTP Blacks _ at Instagram. You know, I'm kind of new to the social media, but if you Google us, like they say, Google me, Google Mental Turning Point, and you can find out more information. You can also reach me at Mental Turning Point at yahoo.com. That's Mental Turning Point 35 at yahoo.com. Once again, Mental Turning Point 35 at yahoo.com.
Okay. So we got some good things in the works out there.
Yes, sir. And more to come, you know, as we build and do things that the vision that I have, movies, the block coming soon, visually bringing other people's stories to pass and things like that. Just getting it out there. I talked to a couple organizations and doing a tour, going to different schools and doing a tour, telling our stories. Me and another individuals that are in my situation, that are in chairs or have suffered from trauma, or in the city that have suffered from trauma, doing tours and going to the city and talking to some of the schools and talking to the young people and giving them our perspective, you know, talking about conflict resolution and things of that nature is also some of the things that are in the works. And we've been talking to some of the community organizations and in the community and how we can come together and bring this to pass. So I'm looking forward to that and working with other people, churches, community centers, local organizations, corporate organizations, to help what's going on in our community.
Cool. So how do you feel about being in a wheelchair?
Man, how do I feel? At first, I hated it. 2 years, straight depression. Got bed sore because of it. Didn't want to move. Didn't want nobody to see me. At first, I hated it. time goes by, I don't say you get used to it, but you get used to it. I've learned that not to let the chair identify me. You know, I remember going to UMKC and this young lady said, "You make being in a wheelchair look good." And I was like, huh? But it made me feel, yeah, it made me feel good. Like, yeah, okay, I make it look good. All right. So I've taken that mindset and just being me. You know, I don't let this wheelchair define me. I still not the same person, but I carry myself the way I carried myself as I would walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all a learning experience, and it's one day at a time. Part of mine has always said, one day at a time, and that's how you really gotta look at life, one day at a time, because we don't know what tomorrow holds, and all we really have is the present moment. So it's one day at a time.
So what would you do if you could walk again?
If I could walk again, I would get a big truck. I get a motorcycle. I two-step. Hey, even though Miss D. Barker said we can do it, I can teach you how to two-step in your chair. But I would two-step. I would hold my lady from the back and hold her real tight. I would do the things that I would always want to do if I could walk again. So, and one day, who knows? But that's what I would do if I could walk again.
A little more fun than what you've been having.
I'm more open, you know.
Yeah.
I believe if I got shot that day, March the 20th, 1999, if I would have got shot that day, and let's say it would have went through my arm, or it would have went out, and I still would have been walking, oh man.
You wouldn't have changed?
Oh man, I'd have been Teflon Don. I would have thought I was, man, look, Superman. So, you know, maybe it was a tool used to humble me, to slow me down. So, and it totally humbled me. It totally slowed me down. So, the tool worked, and I'm still learning, and I haven't accepted it. I don't think I ever will, but I am maintaining myself through it.
Gotcha. So God has helped you out a whole lot.
Definitely, man. Without God, I would be nothing. So, but his energy, his wisdom, helps me through it all. You know, helps me through it all.
Yeah. Sound like it made you a better person than what you used to be.
Yeah. Before I was, and you, depending on who you talk to, I would say it changed me. It made me more humble. I was a little more arrogant, self-seeking, just young and dumb. But this situation definitely grew me up. It made me look at life differently. It slowed me down to see what life really is about. And for me, life really is about family. It's about, man, enjoying the things that you love and loving yourself. Number one, loving yourself. My ex taught me that. Loving yourself. If you don't love yourself, how's somebody gonna love you? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna love anything if you don't love yourself first? So making sure that you love yourself is important.
That's a valuable lesson in life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what would you say to somebody that's new?
Somebody new in a new situation?
Yeah.
I would say that it's not easy. A lot of long nights, a lot of lonely nights, a lot of long days, a lot of lonely days. But as time goes by, it gets easier um, easier to accept. You get stronger, and doors start opening, and you start doing things you never imagined that you would do. Skiing, traveling. You know, at the age 20, I never thought that I would go out of the country. I never thought that I would see mountains. I never thought that I would be in the room with people that I shouldn't be in the room with. So it opens up doors, you know what I'm saying? And you don't understand it at first. Why? Why me? We don't understand it first, but in the long haul, you'll get it. Like, okay, I get it. You know, it didn't have to happen. It happened, and it happened for a reason, and it was good. So I would say hold on, stay strong, stay focused, and once again, one day at a time.
That's coming from somebody who's been in the chair for 20 years, 20 plus.
Since 1999, yeah. Man, was that 20 something years? Somebody will put it at the bottom how much.
Yeah, 22 years.
Man, so it's a long time, man. A lot of many moons, as my grandfather would say, many moons, many moons.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So basically, half your life.
Man, 20. So I've learned relationships. I've learned how to manage finances. I've had to go through career, everything in this situation. And like I said, it hasn't been easy. Especially at age 20 when you want to party. I turned that focus, and like I said, I went to school. So a lot of my 20s and 30s were in school, and then I started my career. Online with how I should have been moving anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Able body. I'm moving just as I should have been moving as an able bodied person, but I'm doing it in a chair, and I'm doing it in a different way, but not the way I want to, but the way I had to, I guess.
It sounded like it hadn't hold you back it up.
Man, can't let it. Can't let it. You know?
Yeah.
Life is what you make it. You know? Life is what you make it. You know? All power and glory to God. He controls. He's the author and finisher of everything. Ultimately, you have the decision. He gave us the decision to choose life or death. You know what I'm saying? He gave us the decision to choose. That's what we have, that choice, that thing in our head that constantly is going, that we hear every day, which is our conscience, which is us on the inside, telling us what to do, what to say, what to think, where to go, how to do. So you have the power to choose what to do. You know what I'm saying? You have the power to choose right or wrong. And that's the free will that we have. So it's on you. It's on you. You know?
Life is what you make it.
It's what you make it. So, as I said, I went to school and I did all that. I could have got shot, had a pity party, say, woe is me. And I see it, and a lot of people see it every day. People in chairs on the corner with alcohol, drugs, looking crazy, and not doing anything because they chose not to do anything with their life. Then you have some individuals that move forward, even though despite obstacles, even though you have obstacles in your way, you overcome those obstacles, which is another thing that Mental Turning Point teaches, how to overcome obstacles. So even though you have obstacles in your way, you overcome them. And that's what we have, those with mobility issues, that's what we have, a lot of obstacles in our way. And you have to be strong. You have to be strong to overcome those obstacles that are placed before you.
Mentally strong.
Mentally strong.
Yeah.
And also now we have this physical element. We gotta be physically strong. I just had a friend that I just helped over here, and I had to be physically strong to help also with what the situation that they're in.
So staying in shape helps too.
Oh man, shout out to Help Me Fit and my boy Wes for what he does as far as to get people physically fit, and that is something that is important. Staying in shape, and that also starts with you making in your mind that I'm going to eat right, and that I'm gonna exercise, and mentally I'm gonna stay healthy by reading and mentally working out my mind.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So it's a little bit to it.
It's a lot to it.
But
It's hard work, man. I was just talking to some kids at the center, and I was telling them, man, y'all better be lucky y'all kids, because when you a kid, you really don't have nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? You get up in the morning, you play, you eat, you go to school, you come home, you eat, you go to sleep. You have no real responsibilities. You pay no bills. You don't have to buy too much of anything. So at that age, it's the age of heaven to me, Then you get old, and you got responsibilities. You got to pay bills, car payment, mortgage or rent. You got utilities. You got to pay for insurance. You got to look out for your kids if you got children. You got elderly parents you got to take care of. You got all these responsibilities on you as an adult. And then put on top of that, you have a physical disability or a mental disability, or you have a physical challenge that's even more stress on top of you. So being mentally healthy, being physically healthy is very important.
gosh.